Hi, Vaughn here with Spirit of Health. We are going to show you our first aid kit. So these are the items that we have in our home that we would consider first aid and important that anyone can use for like a natural first aid kit. We don't have anything over the counter, nothing you'd buy at a drugstore. Hey, these are the things that people use old school, like back in the day when we lived on farms and we didn't have drugstores to go buy all these man-made weird things that we have today. We just had the things that God gave us, and they work awesome. And so, gosh, where do I even start? I'll start over here. Something that saved me about 3 times when I had really bad poison ivy. So it's going to work with poison ivy, poison oak, and that is sea salt and baking soda. And they have multiple uses, but if you ever get poison ivy, poison oak, take a hot bath, as hot as you can stand it, and put sea salt and baking soda on the areas where the rash is, and it will completely take away the sting for like 6 to 8 hours. So if you do that twice a day, that can really help get you through a nasty case of poison ivy. We also know, of course, baking soda. This is food grade baking soda that we sell at our store. You can also use that internally, and I recommend baking soda to people all the time. People need bicarbonate minerals to help produce proper stomach acid and to help with digestion. It can also help with an over acid stomach issue to kind of help squelch that so you can get off your antacids. You do it on an empty stomach, because if you do it with food, it'll dilute your stomach acid and you won't digest your food properly. So on an empty stomach, it's awesome, but it can also be used for first aid. If you're having major digestive issues, you can just take that right away instead of taking Tums or some of those over-the-counter things. Let's move on to clay. I love clay. The Lord God formed man out of dust of the earth. Animals eat clay. There were ancient cultures that would eat clay on a regular basis. It helps purify the body and keep it clean. It's a drawing agent. It pulls toxins and minerals out of the body. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do liquid clay if you have food poisoning. Charcoal is another thing that you can use. So if you have an acute case of food poisoning and your stomach's killing you, I had a friend who went to Mexico and he brought clay with him and everybody got sick, from drinking the water or whatever. They all took clay, cleared it right up. So liquid clay internally is awesome for a number of reasons. The other thing is you can use topical clay. Clay packs are miraculous. If you have a bug bite, bee sting, let's say you get a nasty spider bite. My wife, a nasty brown recluse spider bite on her leg, actually started turning her leg purple and black because it was actually killing the flesh around where the bite was because of the poison. We took clay, mixed it with a little bit of aloe vera juice, put some herbs in it like iodine, which would be another great thing for a first aid kit. I don't think we have that here. But you mix that up into a paste, you apply it on that nasty spider bite or bug bite, and you wrap it in plastic and you leave it overnight, and that thing the next morning was 90% gone. So it's just miraculous, the drawing power that bentonite clay has. It's great externally for rashes, for what is that people get that's like chicken pox? Gosh, I just drew a blank on the name. It's great for things like shingles, where somebody gets that nasty rash from shingles. So there's a whole lot of uses for topical bentonite clay. What farmers used to use clay for is they would actually they'd take mud or clay out of the earth, and if an animal got injured on a fence or somehow one of their farm animals got injured, they would pack mud in that wound and it would just heal it right up. And again, we're made out of clay, out of dust of the earth, and so it's just a powerful healer of human tissue. Hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide will disinfect. So you probably knew this growing up, that if you've got a cut or a scrape or a wound, you might spray hydrogen peroxide on it. If it bubbles up a little bit, that means it's killing bacteria. So hydrogen peroxide has a whole lot of uses. You can spray it on fruits and vegetables, you can spray it to disinfect and clean, but you can also use it on especially wounds, even open wounds, just to keep it from getting infected, to clear bacteria out. Cayenne pepper, great thing for your first aid kit, because Cayenne pepper actually can cauterize a wound. So if you get a really big, nasty, open gash, you can actually put cayenne pepper on it and it will cauterize and stop the bleeding. I know it sounds crazy. It doesn't gonna sting through the roof like you might think it would. It's actually well documented in a number of cases on how it's helped trauma victims with major wounds. The other reason cayenne should be in your first aid kit is because a liquid cayenne pepper can save somebody from a heart attack or from a stroke. And I've actually seen that happen at a health food store I worked at in Las Vegas. Somebody had a heart attack, took cayenne pepper, it pulled them out of it. They didn't even have to go to the hospital. And so the circulation, the way this increases circulation is powerful to help stop that. I love this healing salve. It's olive oil based, and it's comfrey root and plantain leaf, and it's a wound healer. And so you can put this on a wound. So after it's closed, so let's say you got like the hydrogen peroxide and you got it disinfected and the bleeding stops and you want to heal it, you can use clay or you can use this healing salve, and you can put this on a wound. It'll heal quickly. I'll tell you a couple stories. My mom had a double knee surgery, and I said, as soon as you're done with the surgery, put this salve all over, you know, where the stitches are. And her doctor who did the surgery, who's done, I don't know, 100,000, some crazy amount of surgeries, said he's never seen somebody heal so fast after the surgery. So again, these herbs and things that God gave us are amazing for healing the body. And so it also works for hemorrhoids. Any external hemorrhoid, talk about needing first aid. You got hemorrhoids, you need some first aid. You put this on the external hemorrhoid, or if they're internal, you can even put it up there at night before bed, and it will heal those hemorrhoids. You can use it for any kind of cut, scratch, scrape, any kind of wound healing. We also have a sporin salve, which if you think Neosporin that people buy at the drugstore, it's called sporin salve. I don't have it with me, but it has golden seal in it and other things that will kill infection. So you can use that in place of Neosporin. And this is by a company called Herbally Grounded, both the healing salve and the sporin salve. The Africa's Secret by Alafia is pretty neat stuff. It has a really neat blend in it. It has the shea butter. It's got sesame seed oil, beeswax, wild honey, neem oil, baobab oil, bee pollen, royal jelly, propolis. So this is an awesome external thing to put on the skin too for eczema. It's one of the few things that'll work for like eczema and psoriasis. It'll work on ringworm. It'll work on all various kinds of external skin issues. Acne, you'll see a lot of benefits with this. So the Africa's Secret we use a lot just on just random things, bug bites, etc. So this is, it's like a skin cream that has all various purposes. The neem in it, neem is really powerful against bugs and critters. So like lice or bed bugs or any of those kind of weird things. The Africa's Secret is really good for all of that. Olive gold, we nicknamed, if you've seen any of the prior videos, we nicknamed this Jesus in a bottle, which is kind of funny. But it's because we sought help with so many things. Good friend of ours, daughter had ringworm. All the creams, all the salves, nothing worked that they got from the doctor or the drugstore. They put this on it. It was gone in 2 days. It never came back. Awesome. Ringworm is a fungal condition. Olive gold is ozonated olive oil. So you want to get this olive gold O3, ozonated olive oil. I'll tell you one other story about this. My wife was boiling water, and she was cleaning, I think, our cloth diapers for our baby. And she was pouring this boiling water into the sink, and it poured and splashed up on her chest. Boiling hot water all over her chest. She had enough sense to go into the cupboard, grab the olive gold, smear that stuff all over where the burn was, and it's like she didn't even get burned. I mean, and I've had that happen multiple times. There was one little tiny red spot where she didn't get the olive gold where you could still see the burn mark. And so if I ever get burned on a pot or a pan or anything like that, I grab the olive gold, put it on there, and it knocks it out immediately. And so you can read on the bottle here to talk about how you can use it for sunburns, for acne. We use this a lot for acne. The oxygen is very healing, and olive oil, of course, very healing, very biblically healing. And so this is a good, powerful product to use. We also have people take this internally for like liver gallbladder flushes, but externally it has a whole lot of uses. The black drawing salve, it's exactly what it says. It draws toxins out of the body. This is kind of your heavy duty hitter. It's black, so you got to be careful where you apply it so you don't get it everywhere. But the black drawing salve is going to work against, your basic wounds and things, but this is really used for the big nasties. So people will say that it helps with moles, it helps with skin tags. Probably one of the most common things this is used for is skin cancers. I had a gal who was young. I think she was still a teenager, and she had a cancerous growth on her nose, and the doctors wanted to remove it. She put the black drawing salve on it every day, put a little bandage on it, and in a month it popped out like a plug. Boop. And so the cool thing about black drawing salve is it'll kill cancers like skin cancers and things down to the root. So this is super strong stuff. So you kind of want to, just know what you're doing with this and use very small amounts. The skin gel. This is an aloe vera based skin gel. Great for sunburns. And just as a moisturizer, a skin conditioner for sunburns, for wound healing. Aloe is very well known for wound healing. And keep this in the refrigerator. It's nice and cool when you put it on a sunburn. And then I'll just end with apple cider vinegar. It's kind of a cure-all. You can use it for acid reflux, indigestion. You can use it for athlete's foot. You can use it to gargle with it. It'll knock out a sore throat. You can use it on a sunburn. I mean, you could just go on and on and on down the list. So apple cider vinegar is a great thing to have in your medicine cabinet as part of your first aid kit. So that's our first aid kit. These are things that we use when we need them. We don't need all of these things every day. We use some of them on a fairly regular basis. Some of them we need once a month, but you're really happy when you have it. That's kind of the point of a first aid kit. And again, it'll keep you away from all those chemicals and those toxins that are those man-made petrochemical things that you find at the drugstore that you get from your doctor. These are the things that God gave us to heal the human body. And that's our heart, that you would choose God and you'd choose the things of God for your family and for your health. God bless.